Okay, here we go. I'm just going to make up a little quick breakfast here. I had a couple messages sent to me about wanting to see some of this stuff done. So I'll tell you what I did here while I put this in. This is basically chopped up fat trimmings from the brisket I trimmed up a while back. And I had cooked them all down, all these trimmings down until it was created tallow, which I separated that with cheesecloth, so it came out real, took all of these sediments out, and I made some really nice tallow. Well, then I took some tallow and I melted it down and I added some of this fish sauce I talked about in my last video, and I let that solidify. So what I did is I put about this much, about a tablespoon of that tallow that's flavored with the fish sauce, because that puts a little flavoring in here behind it. And like I said before, it don't taste like fish. It just tastes really good. It's almost like I don't know, you have to try it. But so see, I'm gonna let this stuff warm up a little bit, and then I'm gonna dump some eggs in here. I cracked about 6 eggs, and I whisked them up, and now I'm gonna pour them over this and then stir it all around, and it'll be like eggs and the fat trimmings. I chopped that up. I put it here because some of the pieces were big, some are little, but I chopped them up, and that's what you saw me doing at the beginning. So now I'll dump this egg in here and let that cook in there, and I'm just going to stir this around a little and let it cook. Got a little cast iron skillet going. I'll let that cook for a minute, and then I'll start flipping it around. And what I'll do is I'll put it on a plate here in a minute, and then I'll taste it. And if I need a little more of that fish sauce, I'll sprinkle it on there. Because I tell you, this is 100% carnivore. It's anchovies and salt. That's all that's in there, and it's fermented. So it's really good stuff. So let's see. I'll start moving this around a little bit. We'll let this all cook in there good. And like I said before, when you do this, it's almost like when you chop that stuff up, it's not the same as chorizo, but to me it reminds me of when you put chorizo in it. I don't have all the spices in there, all the plants that, peppers and whatnot. If someone's not a carnivore, they could probably add peppers and garlic and all those things in there if they wanted to. It's up to them. They're the one eating it, not me, right? So, but you see, this comes together pretty quick. The eggs look good. One thing I always like to do is add butter. So I'm going to put some butter in there. I don't know, about 4 or 5 tablespoons of butter there is what I had handy. I'll let that melt down a little bit so this gets a little better. And what I can do is, because this is cast iron, I'll turn the heat off. Don't need no more heat. Let that butter melt down. It's adding into the creaminess, I guess, or whatever, these eggs. But you see how the meat, I don't know if you can see real good, but that meat, because that's the meat, I say meat, it's mostly fat, but it's got chunks of the meat when I trimmed it off the brisket. You know how sometimes you get a little, I did it on purpose. I got a little into the meat so that I'd have some meat to it, because I wanted to have the meat on the fat when I cooked it down. Otherwise, wouldn't have little meaty chunks on it that taste so good. Anyways, you can see that's pretty much done. Didn't take me, maybe a minute or two. I don't know. It was real quick to take off. So now, what I'll do is I'll just dump this on my plate, and I'll take a little bite of it. Because this is just a little meal. It's just 6 eggs and a big handful of the trimmings. So for me, that's a little meal. Should be good. Let me give it a quick try here. Haven't added anything to it other than that fish flavored tallow. And so here we go. Tastes good. I don't really taste the fish or the sauce as much as I would want. But this stuff is so strong, you got to make sure you're just putting the right amount on. So see, I'm gonna put a couple little splashy drops on here. Like I tell you, it smells like fish when you first open it, but and a little fishy on here. But as you when you eat it, you don't taste any fish. You smell fish. It smells like you're at the seashore getting seashells and whatnot. But there he goes. I put a little of that on there. Let's see how that does. 2 thumbs up. It's good. So that was just a quick little breakfast idea. I'll let you guys go. I'll catch you next time.